Hey everybody, I am David, and today I'm going to be talking about Arrow Season 6, Episode 17, Brother in Arms. And this is the latest episode of Arrow. I didn't do one for the episode last week, which was Thea's goodbye episode, which I enjoyed. And this episode, I'll start off by saying yes, I enjoyed this episode too. Maybe not as much because I'll get to it into a little bit later. Let's start off with the beginning of this episode where Diggle and Oliver are out in the field again, and so is Dinah tracking down Antonelli. And they eventually do arrest him. And Oliver learns a lot later in the next scene afterwards, after they arrest him, that apparently there's a lot of corrupted people in the city. Not just in the mayor's office, not just the police department. There might be a lot more than he might be realizing. Diaz has a lot of people in his possession. And a lot of people might even know that Oliver is the Green Arrow. I'm telling you, I've said it at the beginning of the season. I think we're going to have Oliver's secret outed by the end of this season. I think he's going to just admit it, flat out say, you know what? I'm going to get rid of this identity bullshit. I am the Green Arrow. That's how it's going to end, just like Iron Man 1, where Tony Stark just tells the world that he's Iron Man. I think it's going to be like that with Green Arrow, and then it's going to move the show moving forward, which I'll be excited about, because I think it's about time one of these superhero shows change the game. That's what I'm really loving about Legends. Legends doesn't feel like your typical superhero show. It feels like something new and fresh. Because of the time travel aspect, and they don't always use the superhero suits, which kind of makes it a little bit different from the other 4 CW shows. I think it would be interesting if one of the heroes had their identities outed. So we'll see. We'll see if that comes true. I think Arrow does have the balls to do it, because nobody thought they'd have any to kill Laurel off, and they did, even though they sort of brought her back. But that's a different Laurel. Let's remember that. And speaking of Laurel, let's talk a little bit about her. She's having her continued back and forth. Am I good? Am I not? It looks like she might be. I don't believe it. She's gonna side with Team Arrow by the end of it. Whatever she's doing now, I think this is only to mess with Diaz. So when the time is right to betray him, I think she is going to side with Team Arrow by the end of it. Next, let's get to the big one. Oliver and Diggle's big spat. So a couple of episodes ago, we kind of had this whole Civil War type of scenario where the new team went head to head with the original Team Arrow. Now we got our Batman v Superman, or should I say Oliver v Diggle. I'm gonna say I did not like the way this build-up was happening. I did not like it in the trailers. I did not like it in this episode. I thought it was a pretty forced way to get Oliver and Diggle to fight. I got their reasonings. I thought their reasonings were pretty cheap. That's just me. I thought the acting between both Stephen Amell and David Ramsey was top-notch. I just thought the way it was all executed seemed pretty forced. So, acting-wise, I loved it. I loved seeing these two go at it. The reasoning behind it, though, I couldn't buy into it. I thought it was dumb. They were even saying it was dumb for him to be acting this way, Diggle, throughout the whole episode. Even Diggle realized, why am I feeling this way? It feels so childish, you know? Yeah. Felicity had to step in to calm them down twice. Yeah, I just, no. I wasn't sold on it. And then, and then we got a little bit of Curtis and his romance with his new boyfriend. That put a smile on my face by the end of the episode. I'm happy for Curtis that he got some love. That someone got a happy ending from this episode, because Diggle didn't. He decided to leave Team Arrow. So now original Team Arrow is just left with Oliver and Felicity. Yay! Because that's going to make everybody so happy, right? I'm talking about all the fans, by the way. Fans are not happy with Felicity. I'm okay with Felicity, depending on how they use Felicity. And so far this season and last season, I felt they fixed Felicity. I think Felicity is an enjoyable character again, like she was in the earlier seasons. Just stay away from the drama queen Felicity, because I don't like that. We'll see how it plays out with just the two of them. I don't think the two of them can just run a ship by themselves. But I do think the episode leaves Diggle in an interesting place where now he might be working for Argus with Lila. And, you know, this is coming from someone who would like to see Lila play more of a bigger role in the future. I'm not saying she has to be there for every episode, but bring her in for the show more often. I feel like this season, like, how long has it been since we last saw Lila? I have no idea, but I'm happy she was in this episode, and I'm happy she offered that to John. So I'm wondering if Oliver does reveal his secret to the city by the end of the season to the world. Is this paving a way for Team Arrow to what they might do next? Maybe they'll be working with a government facility next. I mean, anything is possible. That's just a little thought that popped into my mind. Maybe Oliver will continue to work solo. Who knows? Maybe from here on out, they're going back to basics with Oliver just, you know what? I don't need a team anymore. It will just be me and my lovely wife here. Maybe my son. That would be dangerous. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I think if he puts the kid in a costume, that's it. Oliver's going to jail. We'll see what happens. And I think a lot of people would stop watching the show if they put a kid in a costume. With that being said, guys, I don't know. I thought this episode was good. I thought it was a fine episode. I thought just the reasoning behind the entire fight leading up to it was stupid. And I had a feeling it was going to be, because the trailers made it look stupid, and it was stupid. But other than that, I didn't hate the episode. So there's that. Leave your comments. If you guys saw the episode of Arrow tonight, leave your comments and tell me, how did you feel about this whole build up to the fight? Did you feel it was forced, or were you buying into it and you were like horrified? Because I wasn't, because the fight didn't even last that long. They went to a break after the first couple of punches, and then they came back a few more punches, and then Felicity comes in running and saying, "Stop fighting!" I'm like, shut up! So, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm right. Let me know your thoughts. And I can't look. I still love Arrow. I didn't hate this episode, so there you go. So, like this video, subscribe to my channel. And until next time, guys, don't forget to tune in this Saturday when I will do my DC TV recap of all the DC TV shows that aired this week, which includes Arrow, Gotham, Flash was not on this week, but it will be next week, Legends of Tomorrow, and Krypton. I've added Krypton to the list now as well. Supergirl, you're safe this time, but when you return, you will be judged. So until then, take care.